All right, President Trump also says he's moving up his timeline and is expected to announce Fed Chairman Jerome Powell's replacement today instead of next week. Take a listen.
What day will you be announcing your Fed chair pick next week?
Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning.
Oh.
And do you know who you pick?
I do.
Powell's term at the Federal Reserve doesn't end until May, but the president is reportedly expected to pick former Fed Governor Kevin Warsh to replace him. Powell and the president frequently butt heads over interest rates, as we've talked about.
Under Sleepy Joe, we had the largest trade deficit in world history. But in 1 year, I've slashed our gaping trade deficit by a staggering 77%.
President Trump making that bold claim during a midterm election campaign stop in Iowa earlier this week. But new data shows the U.S. trade deficit is actually growing and nearly doubled in November alone. NewsNation's Alicia Nieves is following this one from Wall Street for us. Alicia, how much of this falls on the president?
Hey, good morning, Markie. Yeah, I mean, the whole idea of the president's tariff agenda is to reduce the trade deficit. He has said over and over that it is unfair. But what we saw in November was the exact opposite. And by the way, we only get November's data now because of that government shutdown last year. Listen, what we saw was the widest or largest widening of the deficit in more than 3 decades. Here's the numbers. When you look at what we saw in October, we had a deficit of $29.2 billion for trade. That jumped to over $56 billion in November, up 94.6% to your point there, almost doubling. At the same time, exports fell nearly 4%. That's what we sell to other countries, and what we bought from other countries, the imports, that climbed 5%. And really notable here, the largest deficit amongst trade partners increase was with our largest trade partner, the European Union. That jumped from $7.9 billion in October to $14 billion in November. Of course, as trade tensions have risen with that 27-nation bloc. Listen, bottom line here, the trade deficit for November headed in the opposite direction of where the president wants. And really the big concern is what it's going to do in terms of GDP, the impact to that. This could have a significant impact. I've seen estimates that show GDP potentially in Q4 coming down to about 3% from 4.4% in Q3, Markie.
So, Alicia, help us connect the dots here. You've got record aluminum costs in the United States. You've got gold prices. You and I were talking about this earlier this week, just hit an all-time high.
Yeah.
What, $5,100 an ounce? What's driving all this, and what are we watching for next?
Yeah, there is a direct connection among the dots here, right? When we're looking at the price of aluminum and gold, directly affected by the tariff agenda and really all the uncertainty that it has caused for U.S. investors who are concerned about things like the GDP in this country and the potential economic impact long-term of this agenda. Listen, when you're looking at the price of aluminum right now, U.S. companies and consumers, they're paying 40% more than what they paid back in June. That's, of course, when President Donald Trump doubled the aluminum tariffs to try and encourage investment in local production. But it's causing a shortfall of supply, and that's kind of leading to the prices coming up. And that really could become a problem fast as this continues. Aluminum is used for, of course, cars, planes, military hardware, and even canned goods, things we buy in the grocery store. If we look at gold, that has now crossed $5,500 per ounce. That's another record high after hitting several record highs in the past year. And this is really the classic case of, a safe haven trade. All the uncertainty around the tariff agenda, the potential long-term impacts of the economy, and the dollar. That is why we're seeing right now kind of this flight to safety, if you will, when it comes to gold. In terms of what to watch for next, a lot of eyes still looking to see if the Trump administration and the White House announces any additional deals on tariffs. We haven't had one, or at least heard of one, since last year in November, Markie.
Yeah, and if we get a new chairman replacement this morning. Alicia Nieves live on Wall Street for us, breaking it all down. Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.